South Koreans that were detained in a U.S. immigration raid on a battery plant in Georgia are now on their way home after a week in detention. A charter flight carrying more than 300 workers is now on its way back to Seoul. Our Byeon Ye-young starts us off.
At 2:18 a.m. Thursday local time, the detained Koreans were released from the Folkston detention center. As agreed in advance with U.S. authorities, the workers left the detention facilities without handcuffs and shackles and wearing their regular clothes. Escorted by South Korean diplomatic officials, they boarded 8 buses that drove around 450 kilometers nonstop to Atlanta International Airport. Many workers appeared exhausted after a week in poor conditions, though some waved in relief to reporters through the tinted bus windows. At the airport, they bypassed the main terminal and completed departure procedures at the cargo terminal before boarding a waiting Korean Air charter plane. The flight departed Atlanta around noon with 316 Koreans on board, along with 14 foreign nationals from China, Japan, and Indonesia. One Korean chose to remain in the U.S. due to family ties. First Vice Foreign Minister Park In-ju, who traveled to the U.S. to help resolve the situation, and LG Energy Solutions CEO Kim Dong-myung also boarded the flight. After a 15-hour journey, the plane is scheduled to land at Incheon Airport at about 3 p.m. Korean time on Friday. The raid that led to the detentions took place on September 4th at the Hyundai LG Energy Solution battery plant construction site in Ellaville, Georgia, where U.S. immigration authorities took 475 people, including more than 300 Koreans, into custody. The workers had been slated for release on Wednesday, but their return was delayed by 1 day after President Donald Trump directed U.S. authorities to pause repatriation and consider allowing them to stay and help train U.S. workers. The shockwave of the ICE raid is expected to set back construction of the Hyundai LG Energy Solution plant in Georgia by at least 2 to 3 months. Hyundai Motor Company CEO Jose Munoz told Bloomberg the raid disrupted progress, but emphasized that the company remains firmly committed to the U.S. market. Byeon Ye-young, Arirang News.